My name is Deidre Reynolds. I'm honored to be here today. I'm a volunteer chapter leader with New Hampshire chapter of Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. I'm here today to remind our legislators that there are thousands of granite staters who support common sense gun laws. Moms Demand Action was founded after the tragedy at Sandy Hook Elementary School in 2012. We now have chapters in all 50 states and more than 3 million supporters nationwide. This year, we've added more than 1,400 supporters here in New Hampshire. We hosted an event that drew over 300 people. We were active at candidate events in both parties throughout the primary, and interest in our work continues to grow throughout the state. Thank you to all our volunteers for continuing to make sure that gun sense is a major part of the conversation here in New Hampshire. It is imperative that we keep making our voices heard, because right now, gun extremists are trying to dismantle our state's concealed carry permitting system entirely. House Bill 582 would literally get rid of the process for getting a criminal records check and a permit for carrying a concealed weapon in public. If passed, the bill would even remove police authority to block dangerous people from carrying hidden loaded guns through all of New Hampshire and would undermine public safety. That is not the New Hampshire way. We are better than that. But there is also encouraging news. As she did last year with similar legislation, Governor Hassan has promised to veto the bill from becoming law. Thank you again to Governor Hassan for standing up for common sense gun laws. We are proud to have a governor who puts the interest of public safety over those of the gun lobby. For the governor and for other state leaders to support common sense gun safety policies, it is imperative that we keep showing up and keep making our voices heard. If you are new to Moms and want to continue getting involved, please come and find me or another volunteer. There is always work to be done, and it starts right here in New Hampshire. Now I would like to introduce the speakers that we'll be having. We have Representative Cushing, Representative Rogers, Representative Birch, and Clay Lasher Summers, Survivor Engagement Lead for Everytown for Gun Safety, who will all be making remarks. Thank you.
I'm Rennie Cushing, and I'm a state representative from Hampton. I'm a member of the Criminal Justice and Public Safety Committee. I also am a survivor of gun violence. My father was shot to death in front of my mother in our family home 27 years ago. And in a hauntingly similar crime, my brother-in-law was murdered by an FN7 assault pistol. I have to say that when dealing with what we do about gun violence, it's not just an intellectual question to me. It's something that hits home to my family. It's something that I live with all the time. I think that as a survivor of gun violence, I would hope that we could have a thoughtful, constructive conversation here in the state of New Hampshire about how we take steps to prevent gun violence. I know that there's room, I believe, for that conversation. I think that right now, the gun laws that we have in place are sufficient to balance the rights of people to self-protection and the rights of the public to be protected from people who are constitute a danger to themselves or others through the misuse of firearms. And I'm glad to stand here with Moms Demand Action and with my other friends to promote sensible gun legislation in the state. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Paul Birch. I'm a state representative representing the towns of Walpole, Westmoreland, Chesterfield, and Hinsdale on the banks of the lovely Connecticut River. And I'm pleased to be here today. There are 400 state reps. There are 24 state senators. We come from different backgrounds. We come from different points of view. We come from different life experiences. And we have different agendas when we come to the legislature. I am hopeful that there is a common agenda for all, and that's an agenda to promote the safety and welfare of our neighbors, our communities, and our state. Because I think if we can coalesce around that concept, the concept of the safety of our citizens, whether it's automotive safety, whether it's gun safety, whether it's health and product safety, that we can find a basis for moving forward, respecting people's points of view, respecting people's histories, but having that commonality. So when moms get together, when legislators get together, when we talk about gun safety, then I think we can do remarkably good things for our citizens. So I appreciate the effort of those who are standing in front of me and standing behind me and standing across the street and standing throughout the state. So thank you very much.
My name is Representative Catherine Rogers. I'm so glad to see all my friends across the road from here. I'd love to come to hearings and take part in any bills I have. I've represented Concord, and I've sponsored a number of responsible gun legislation this year. I'm sure those across the road here would differ with me. We know that gun safety matters to the families in New Hampshire. Polling released in just February of this year showed that 73% of likely New Hampshire voters support the existing concealed carry permit system. However, once again, this legislature has passed bills that reduce public safety. House Bill 582 and Senate Bill 336 would roll back critical protections for the public. And I want to applaud Governor Hassan for pledging to veto these bills. Governor Hassan, once again, has stood on the side of the people of New Hampshire, not on the gun lobby, who's come forward and tried to frighten the legislators in New Hampshire. House Bill 582 would dismantle New Hampshire's concealed carry permitting system, making it too easy for dangerous people to carry hidden loaded handguns in public. Senate Bill 336 would roll back law enforcement's authority to stop dangerous people from carrying hidden and loaded guns throughout the state. We need to improve public safety in New Hampshire, not roll it back. I look forward to working for moms across the Grand Estate to keep New Hampshire safe. While the standing statutes might not prevent every criminal from getting a gun in New Hampshire, it will prevent many, and that's worth it. If we stop one dangerous person from getting a weapon and creating a crime, or killing one child, or one person, or preventing one injury, then it's worth it. Instead of dismantling laws that work to hand out weapons in the hands of, and putting them in the hands of dangerous people, we need to come together to do things like close the loopholes that lets felons, domestic abusers, and the dangerous mentally ill buy a gun in New Hampshire with no background check and no questions asked. That's why in the coming sessions, we will once again bring back the bill that closes the loophole in New Hampshire background check laws. And we will work with the people of New Hampshire, who by over 80% support strengthening that bill and closing the loopholes. And we will work with future governors like we have worked with Governor Hassan to keep the concealed carry permit as it is in New Hampshire, and to show the people of New Hampshire that we support them, not the gun lobby that works against their wishes. So we stand together as moms and as the people of New Hampshire to support the people of New Hampshire, not the gun lobby. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Clay Lasher Summers, and I'm a resident of Westmoreland, a mother, a farmer, an activist, and I also, like Representative Cushing, am a survivor of gun violence. When I was 13 years old, I was shot in the back by my stepfather. That was many years ago, and the experience continues to haunt me to this day. But over time, I have made a conscious choice to channel my experiences into action. I've spoken out on issues of guns and domestic violence in New Hampshire and all over the country, meeting survivors wherever I go. There's something particularly powerful about being here in my home state. This work feels even more immediate and even more urgent. In my time speaking out on these issues, I've come to realize that the conventional wisdom on the issue of gun policy is often wrong. The conventional wisdom holds that elected officials can't go up against the gun lobby because it's too powerful. But that's not true. When Congress refused to act, grassroots activists like me took the fight to the states and have passed background checks legislation and bills to keep guns out of hands of domestic abusers across the country. Ultimately, we're all here today because we have to be here. We're here because too many victims of violence never have their stories told. Legislation is important. But it's so important that we connect legislation to the experiences of real people. I am one of those people, and tragically, there are too many of us who carry these scars. And yet, as more of us come forward and tell our stories, our movement grows, and with the growth of our movement, we've also seen the emergence of elected officials who share our values, and one of them is Governor Hassan. I want to thank you, to the legislators that have been here with us today, and to Governor Hassan for promising to veto these dangerous bills and for standing up for the safety of New Hampshire residents. We are all behind you. Thank you. And now we are going to meet outside and go into our groups. Thank you very much.